So the 2024 Mark 4.5 Facelift Ford Focus ST edition, we now finally have some actual official pictures from a dealership in the UK. So yeah, I've got quite a few images to go through actually to kind of tell you about the car. This one is now currently up for sale at £41,995. It's at TC Harrison's in Derby. And yeah, it's the only one with the actual proper images. So let's go through this. Let's talk all about the car and all the extra little parts of it. I'm filming this on the 16th of May 2024, just for your reference. So yeah, in the gorgeous Azura blue. And essentially, if you don't know much about the ST edition, it's essentially a track pack exclusive to about 300 run units in the UK. You get sort of like the track pack wheels, you get the track pack brakes, but you get the Azura blue paint as well. And you also get some little bits inside too, which is quite cool. But it's great to kind of see it in person. And actually, you know, official images, you know, taken really well. There's no sort of video of it, but yeah, just to get the images at this kind of stage is quite nice. And I love the colour personally. This is without the plates and stuff on as yet, but you get the gloss black parts, which is a part of the track pack as well, which comes as standard. So it's basically a fully optioned track pack exclusive in Azura blue paint. That kind of gets that out of the way. You also get the ST badges sort of with like a black accent sort of around it, sort of like gloss black, kind of keeping that theme going, which I think is really, really nice. Some of the more interesting pictures as well, this is actually taken in the sun too, which is great. You can really see how it comes up like a light blue effect, which is nice. Yeah, you then get the larger disc brakes too, the giant sort of red brake calipers. I love the way this kind of car drives, and I've driven so many sort of like track packs and Mark 4.5 Facelift STs, and yeah, I'd love to get the opportunity to kind of drive this car. Yeah, we'll hopefully see that in the future. And yeah, and if you do have one or are getting one, you know, let me know. Feel free to reach out, DM on Instagram, and yeah, give me a follow on Instagram too, or drop me an email. It's all in sort of like the description of this video. So yeah, let's go through a few more pictures. You obviously get the wheels, which are lightweight. They come on P0 Corsa tyres, which are really, really hardcore tyres. In fact, to a point where they're actually available on sort of the M3 CS, a car that I've driven also. And that car's sort of like £130,000. So they make a huge difference to the car, certainly make it really capable on the track, and that's a big point. There's no upgraded in power in this. It's still the same 280 PS from the 2.3 litre EcoBoost engine, 6-speed manual only in the ST edition, but you do get those huge brakes, which I think just make a huge difference. I love stuff like the brakes. The suspension's changed as well, so you've got the KW coilovers, which are adjustable, manually adjustable, and that just makes a whole difference to kind of like the driving feel. And yeah, such a cool car. It's really, really exclusive. Yeah, and at this stage, I wonder potentially if you're going to get this car, is it a bit of flex that you can kind of get this car? Or are you just like a true sort of fast Ford enthusiast? I'm not too sure. I mean, £42,000 is still an awful lot of money for this kind of car. But it is likely to be the last. There's likely to not be an RS coming forward. There's likely not to be a Focus from 2025, which is where we're at. You still got all the kind of features with like reversing camera, parking sensors. That's one of the best pictures I think that there is of this car. Yeah, looks really, really great. You've got the twin exhaust pipes, which are actually real, which is good to see. Yeah, again, the paint is brilliant. I'd love to see it in person personally. Yeah, there's more images of the back. The gloss black parts sort of around it. This must be one of the first ones in the country that they've got up in this Ford dealership, so that's cool. I believe only sort of like 1 or 2 are allocated per dealer, and they're like the best selling dealers get one, and that's my understanding of the ST edition. But you get the usual practicality of the Focus. It's still a front wheel drive, so you get plenty of space in the boot, and it's a good stance. You're kind of buying it for the looks, really. What I have noticed as well, as I kind of briefly just go back, is it has affected values of older ST editions. Like, for example, this one is £23,500 for an 18,000 mile 71 plate one owner. Just to give you an idea, there's not many for sale, but obviously new model Mark 4.5 comes out, you're going to probably want the latest, and it will affect the original Mark 4s. Yeah, and then you get more pictures sort of like on the side. Yeah, looks are subjective, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. It is a community channel, so I am really, really interested to know your thoughts on this car. You know, there's not going to be that many available, and if I kind of take up all the views that I've had on the ST edition, I understand that a lot of you aren't buying this car, but there might be some of you out there that are. And what kind of intrigues you about it? And, you know, for me, it's probably because it's the last of the last, and it's a really good car, and it's a limited edition of a really good car. Now the inside is actually quite important for me, so it's because I'm going to show you a little bit around. It looks like they've changed the digital cluster just for like the performance sort of element of the car. Someone picked up on this before in a previous video, and I think it's specific for the SD edition actually. You get the 6-speed manual, you get the new larger Mark 4.5 facelift screen. I love the seats. You actually get blue stitching as well as opposed to the red stitching. Blue stitching always made sense for me anyway, so I don't know why that's not on standard on all Focus STs. But you do get it on this. You can just see it sort of here. That's exclusive to the ST edition, is my understanding. Bigger pictures of the brakes again, going through the wheels. You get the modes to kind of change between. No adaptable suspension or anything, it's just fixed. You have to manually kind of change the coilovers if you want to, so that's the difference between the track pack and the non-track pack. Again, loads of videos on my channel, and yeah, well worth checking them out too. Electric windows, you know, pretty much basic stuff. It looks like the material looks slightly better. I could be wrong about that, but just certainly like the Alcantara kind of cloth in the back. You actually in these Mark 4.5 or Mark 4 Focuses get loads of space in the rear for passengers. I noticed that even more so on the Estate as well. Can't get the ST edition in Estate. That would be cool. You get USB-C ports as well, so in keeping with 2024, I suppose. Yeah, usual kind of dials and fixtures and fittings. Obviously keeping the protective film on with the larger screen, and yeah, and what you can kind of play around with there. But I'm just about to come to this one. So it looks like it is slightly different to a normal Mark IV Focus in terms of what you can change in it. I recommend they fill this car up with fuel because it's on 0 miles, which probably can't be good for the car. But yeah, you obviously get a little bit of a different instrument cluster, and that's quite nice. And yeah, more kind of information just of the inside of the ST edition. They've kept all the protective film sort of around to like the gloss black parts and so forth. You get a little focus there, which is nice. A few manual sort of touch buttons. It's all a little bit scratchy plastic. It's sort of at certain points, but it is a Ford Focus. And you get the charging, wireless charging, electric parking brake. That picture's not so great, but you get an idea of the blue stitching a little bit more. And then, yeah, back seats. I'm kind of going through every image I can. But that's pretty much most of them. I think we'll kind of leave it on, like, the best image. I mean, there's quite a few. But I quite like a rear quarter. You know, you can't really beat that as I scroll my way through. But there's not massive amounts of change to this car compared to a normal Focus ST track pack, basically. It's just limited runs in the Azure paints. But we have official images, and I'm happy to kind of share it with you and go through it. And, you know, I'd love to kind of get up close and personal with this car. I actually have an event next week, and Ford will be there, Ford of Britain. I don't believe this car will be there, though. I believe it's just the Ford Puma and the Ford Kuga, which potentially shows where Ford are looking on the performance aspects, which is a real shame. But I hope to kind of get up and close and personal in this car in some way, shape or form, and yeah, share it with you in more depth on the channel. But this is a community channel, so let me know your thoughts. What do you think of this car? A little bit more real life images now, and yeah, as I kind of film this today, you know, 16th of May 2024, you'll see it on the 17th of May 2024. And yeah, super interested to know your thoughts. What do you think? Last run out of the ST, last run out for fast Fords. Is it worth it? Does it live up to expectations? Will it ever come back again? Is this the last ever Focus of a limited run? I guess time will tell, but it's looking quite likely based on what I heard from Ford's CEO recently, sort of saying that basically with legislation and stuff, particularly in the UK, it's making it impossible to really make petrol cars, which is a real shame. But hey, this car's there. You can buy it today if you want. Limited run, yeah. Really interested to know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Got plenty more content to come. Big Fast Forward fan. Love my hot matches. And for sure we'll share them on the channel. But yeah, thanks so much for watching and have a fantastic rest of your day. Comments below.